Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Dr. Steve Kessler. He's Executive Chairman of Cleantech Lithium. Steve, good to speak with you again. The Chilean government has given an update on the expressions of interest to develop lithium projects in the country. So a positive development for Cleantech Lithium?
Yes, Stephen. Good afternoon. Back in April, the government announced the administration process, leading to the award of sales, asking for private sector companies, to express interest in doing lithium projects on the various salars. And they always said that they would be announcing the results of that on July the 9th, and they did that yesterday. And the government's very pleased. They had 88 expressions of interest across 30 odd salars. I think 50 odd companies expressed interest. So clearly the government was very pleased with that. They also made the point that over 80% of the expressions of interest indicated that they would use DLE for the production of lithium. And as you know, Cleantech Lithium is the most advanced company in terms of applying DLE in Chile. The government then went on to explain what the next stages of the process will be. They've started detailed analysis of all of the projects on the various salars. They're going to take the results of this process to the various communities during the course of July to say, look, there's lots of interest in developing projects in these areas, and ask for comments, positive or any concerns. And then in August, the government plans to look at the various projects where there are multiple expressions of interest for a single salar. They'll look at what are the allocation criteria to award a sale, and they'll be looking at prioritizing which salars and projects should move ahead the most rapidly. And we clearly, being very, very supportive of the government's aim, to increase lithium production as soon as possible. The Minister for Finance, Minister Marcel, who said they expect to see 3 or 4 new lithium projects up and running by 2026. And clearly we're by far the most advanced project, and we believe we should be in pole position to be prioritized to help the government meet their ambition of getting lithium projects up and running as fast as possible.
I was going to ask you that, Steve, given the competition you're seeing for those licenses, how confident are you that you'll be awarded a special lithium operating contract?
Well, I think when the government has been looking at the various expressions of interest, they'll look very carefully at Cleantech's projects, both at Laguna Verde and at Viento Andino, and see that we are the only company that has actually done work on the ground. We've been doing exploration, declared resources. We've been doing the metallurgical development. We have a pilot plant up and running. We're going to be making battery grade lithium carbonate very, very soon. And we have control of those basins. We have the mining licenses over those areas, which provides the extra degree of protection of the land. So I think when the government evaluates our projects compared to others, and we don't know if anybody else has applied for a sale on our project areas, I think that would actually be quite unlikely, because we are so well advanced. And we would expect at the end of August to get the nod from government that yes, we are the most advanced project. They are prioritizing Laguna Verde, where we've done the most work. And then we go down to the next phase, which is going to be, does the project require extensive dialogue with the indigenous communities in the area? We've already explained that we've been talking with the communities for the last 2 years also, and we have a formal alliance agreement where they will support us in the development of the project because they see that use of DLE is the most sustainable way of producing lithium. And they want to see that happen at Laguna Verde and get benefits for the community as well. So I think the dialogue period with communities should be quite short. We expect the communities to be very vociferous with the government, especially the Ministry of Mining, and say, look, we support this project. Let's get on, award the sale, and get the project into production as fast as possible. So I think that's the expectation, and then we go into the dialogue with government at developing the contractual terms for the operating contract, which will be sort of capacity, timeline, what royalties will be paid. Now, clearly, we have a good idea of what has been in place in Chile in the past, with Albemarle, SQM, and Codelco's sale. So we expect that process to start post August.
In the meantime, what progress are you making at Laguna Verde, Steve? What's happening on the ground?
Yeah, well, we can continue to work as fast as we possibly can with our pre-feasibility study on Laguna Verde. We've signaled that will be complete towards the end of this year. We have Worley engaged. We have our designers for the DLE plant are part of that process. We'll be looking at all the infrastructure requirements and coming up with the capex, opex, and the economic value of the project towards the end of the year. We've already demonstrated that the DLE part of the project works very, very well. Indeed, we make a good quality lithium chloride eluate. We've explained that we have engaged Conductive Energy with their downstream processing plant in Chicago. We've shipped eluate to them. It's arrived in Chicago. So during the course of the next month, we'll be processing that eluate and start making battery-grade lithium carbonate. So we can then start introducing that material to potential off-takers and strategic partners. And we can say, look, anybody who doubts DLE works well with our particular brine, come and look. Here we've got the pilot plant up and running. You can see us processing brine, making eluate, and then making battery-grade lithium carbonate from it. So that's going well. We carry on working with our other consultants, Montgomery and Associates, to finalize and update the resources and the maiden reserves, which will feed into the pre-feasibility study. And part of that work will also include additional pumping tests and re-injection tests when the winter snow clears in September. So in parallel with the sale application, the project progress continues to advance as rapidly as it can.
Well, Steve, I hope you'll keep us posted on any further developments. Thank you very much for the update today.
That's a pleasure, Stephen. Bye.
Goodbye. Dr. Stephen Kessler is the Executive Chairman of Cleantech Lithium.